Can everybody hear me? How is everyone? Should be live. Let me know if audio is clear and what can you see on the charts or screens. In the meantime, I'll read out the disclaimers. So, welcome back again to Bitcoin for Legends weekly streams. So, from next week, it'll be more regular. That's a bit more marks a little better now for me personally. So I'm happy to announce Phemex. They're one of our new partners. So this is the fourth stream now. Okay. So I want to give them a shout out. If like myself, you like trading futures, Phemex offers a purpose-built, fully functional crypto futures trading platform. Considered in the top 5 globally with over 5 million users and nearly 10 billion in daily trading volume. The time to use Phemex as your new crypto exchange is here with over 200 contracts and over 200 spot pairs. You're literally spoiled for choice. Plus, now on their groundbreaking MemeX platform, you can trade all the meme tokens currently available directly on chain Solana. Over the coming weeks and streams, I'll tell you more about some of the other benefits Phemex offers, as well as giving you guys the chance to get rewards and other cool shit exclusively available to my followers and subscribers. In the meantime, check them out. Use the link in the description. So use my ref link. It's in the description. It's free. It doesn't charge you, cost you anything. Where you can sign up and trade with no KYC required and get yourself an exclusive SZ deposit and trade bonus of up to $30,000. As always, nothing in this stream constitutes financial advice. All the information given is not a call to action. Crypto, as with all forms of trading, carries a significant financial risk. Caution and suitable due diligence should always be taken when engaging in any kind of um, market activity. So that's out the way with. Let's crack on. Right. So yes, this is the Phemex. Check them out. You get your spot. You got all sorts here. Okay. So futures, Coinum, it's all sorts. Check them out. Right. Let's get cracking. So from the last stream we did, I do snippet videos on my stream as well. Also, like the video and subscribe. You can show support. At least you can subscribe. At least it's free, and yeah, show support to the channel. I mean, you get all this content for free anyway. So, where was I the last time? So the last time we were talking about Bitcoin, and we were around here. If you recall, we were around here. So, firstly, when we were trading here, I said one more dip lower, and then there was a trigger. It's all in the video, and then this was where I drew out the last time. Okay, there. And from that, the breakout. So I said there's a couple of ways. One, entry could be here, invalidation below here. Or if you wanted more precise entry, if you deviated, which you didn't, or a breakout, that's where I compounded and hit that main target, hit this. So that's a decent leg we've caught. Now what do we do? Is the question. Is audio clear? Just making sure. Is audio still good? Sometimes I rattle on and I click something without even knowing, and it mutes everything. But anyways, I'm assuming it is. So what do we do now? Is the question. Okay. Now that's what we'll cover. So I'm gonna take a bit of time on BTC, and then the rest is just straightforward. Then because once you know what BTC is doing, especially F as well, F did really well. If you recall from the last stream, we did speaking about F trigger there, and then I posted about this, and then boom. So F is really good. Thank you, Michael. And just to simplify it, just a basic SR retest play. So I'll be back. I'll be back to F in a minute. But I just want to point out, what a move one day. That's the thing about crypto, isn't it? Things change so quick. You know, it'll be down, 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 forward, and then one candle is all it takes. Crypto. That's the nature of crypto. But yeah. Anyways, let's carry on. So go to BTC. What do we do? So let's simplify things down. Okay. Let's leave your alts for now. Let's just talk about Bitcoin for now. I don't want to focus on any alts or memes. Just complete attention on Bitcoin because this is the king. This is all that matters. So let's look at the yearly chart. So look at the yearly. So far, so good. We are back above the yearly open. We're tackling or soon to tackle last year's last year's high, which we took out earlier this year already, but we're around there. Now, once or if it can expand above here, then we can start talking about the swing objectives, which I will cover one step at a time. Okay, so yearly so far. So ideally, we want to hold above the yearly open at this stage. Why? Because we've already, for example, say this is the yearly open, so we've already done the pullback part off of key support. Okay, just imagine that's key support, and then we're there. So we should really stay above it. Okay, if it does go down, okay, it can do. That's fine as well. And that would tell me it's a range scenario, which we'll cover. So there's a couple of scenarios. When I'm trading, I look at a couple of scenarios. I look at, okay, are we in a, what context are we in? Are we in a range mode or are we in trend mode? Okay. Now, different strategies are used for different environments. I cannot use a trend strategy for a range environment, and I can't use a range strategy. Well, you can use a range strategy, but you miss out on the trend environment. So different rules. Okay. So it's important for me personally to identify where are we, short term and long term. Okay, long term swing. So this was the swing idea we spoke about, just to simplify the chart down. I'm just recapping a little, and then we'll go into detail. So swing strategy, and we spoke about this. Okay, swing failure, and then main target one was here, which we hit, and then it's here. Okay, so we're more or less there anyway. So I've locked in most of the move. What do we do now? And then we spoke about this simplified way. So once it got above that, that was the trigger plan, and it's done okay. So I believe until we break out of here, there's still big resistance. Okay, macro view, I personally think we go higher. Could we do one more spike down and then back up? Possibly, which I will cover. However, based on and this is where the higher time frame charts really help. And when I speak about SPX as well, which adds confluence, because we remember when I was looking for the lungs, if I quickly look at SPX, where are you? There's so many charts here. I gotta sort them. Fuck. Gold. Where's my SPX chart, man? I lost it. Gold. Let me just bring it up again. I lost my SPX. Shit. Excuse me. Bear with me 1 second. I had lost it. So there we go. Okay. So when I mentioned previously, as long as we're above the mid range, it adds to confluence for Bitcoin, and it was around here, and it's helped. Okay. So going back, I look at the quarterly now. Now we're still early in the new quarter. Okay. To simplify things down, took out previous quarter low, and now last quarter high. Okay. So there would be the next objective. Just to simplify things, it's really simple. It's important you know what Bitcoin doing. Even if you don't trade Bitcoin, you still want to know where are areas of pullbacks or likelihood of pullbacks. Where are areas of possible support areas? Because those support areas are you can use them for your meme coin longs or your altcoin longs. Because if Bitcoin comes down, everything's coming down. Yes, you get the one off does his own thing, but in general, that's coming down as well. So whether you trade this or not, you still have to accept this is still king, and this will dictate in general, keyword general, the rest of the market. Okay, so there is the next objective short term. Okay, and then if it breaks above that, then all hell probably break loose, and yeah, probably go straight to 1 million in one candle, in my opinion. Maybe 900k, take a pause at 900k, then blow through 1 million, but I'll probably do it in about like a 1 5 minute candle, in my opinion. Yeah, someone's gonna take that seriously, aren't they? So that's good so far. Looking at the monthly, is turning as well. So we're in the stage where we've done the pullback like this. Just say this, just using as an example, or just not an exact pullback, and then different color, up, breakout. Okay, breakout. Ideal scenario, in my opinion, would be if you break that and just holds here. That would be the ideal. And I'll bring in FBTC for that. Okay. The way FBTC is looking bottomed, so yes, Bitcoin can still go up, or and that would, and if FBTC is still bullish, it would mean F is really strong. Okay, but ideally, what we would want, or what would make sense, is if we can get something like this. So assume this is one, right? You know these highs here. I looked at a tit. Fuck that. Here, here. Imagine that's that. What we want ideally would be this here. Then just range. And that would help our alts. And then later on, when it's ready, cool off a little. Let FBTC rally. Let all our alts rally. Let's send every shitter to 1 billion cap. And that would be the ideal scenario. Okay, but what's ideal or not is important. Now, am I just pissing in the wind? Yes, probably I am. However, in this environment, anything that fits the bias goes. That's the rule, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because of FBTC. Look at FBTC, which we'll get into. Okay, it's important. So maybe Bitcoin ranges and let F flow. So let's focus back down now. Go to the weekly. Looking good. Okay, maybe a little pause soon. Unless it blasts off, which we don't know yet. Like here, it's reminding me a lot like this. Okay, it's reminding me a lot like that. But we'll see. Like, see that there? Deviation. We've got the deviation. Oh, we'll see. Anyways, trigger plans. That's important now. So, what do we do for trigger? I haven't gone over triggers yet, but I've just gone over context. Okay, just a bit of context is always important. Refresh jogs the memory, and when we go into our trigger plans, it makes sense of the triggers. So let's keep it simple. I'm going to use two charts for triggers. One is just a basic SR chart, like basic two lines, and where we're at within the range. One is okay. I move right back down to here. Now this can of course happen because previously it went there and it came back down to range lows. It's gone there, it's come down to here. So this is an area where we could anticipate some sort of range bound. Okay, I don't think it's topped. Okay, but maybe some pullback uh, could come into play. So what I would be then looking for is triggers. So where is my objective? My ultimate objective, at least here. And then if it breaks out, and then we can deal with that then. Okay, but for now, it's not a breakout till it breaks out. Okay, so having said that, what are my trigger plans? Now I'll cover them. So I'll go over to you. I'll go over the simple chart, and then I'll go over the more detailed chart. Like the video, please. Retweet the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, let's carry on. And a big shout out to Phemex. So, what do I do? One is a basic range low move. One is here, and then I'm gonna go over. Yeah, the other chart will go. It will describe the mid range continuation, which is easier there. One is okay. It's around here. This was the region previously where we were capped by. It's a bit of a resistance zone. Why am I picking that? Because you got this wick area here. It deviates. Then you got the resistance there. You see the cluster there, resistance there. So that's the first. I will. Let me get through this first because this is important. This will become before BNB, F, everything. But when we understand this, then we can time our BNB trades. We can time our F trades, etc. Okay. So scenario one is if we're going to become stay in the range for a little while and give a pullback. And I will give you the case for this because of the way SPX is looking. However, I am also ready for the breakout. Come down, which it did previously. There's nothing wrong. I want this sort of floor to hold. Any movement below here, we want it to be short-lived. I'm not saying it's going to come down, but I have to be prepared for it if it does. Okay? And if I'm planned ahead, then I don't panic. Okay? So it comes down and then reclaims. There's my trigger. And then I'll play it back up. Okay? I'll find targets in between, but around this area. Eyeballing a mid-range of here. Target one. Maybe a bit here. And then there. That's plan one. Does that make sense? Easy peasy plan. Just putting out in case it pulls back to be prepared. Does that make sense? And what I'm looking for trigger. Okay. Now what I'll do is S&P 500. SPXs. I'm going to go to this chart. Now, this chart has a bit more labeled. I won't go over where I got these levels from. In the previous streams, I have detailed out where these come from. So it's better to watch that. Now, this chart is more interesting now, okay? Because that mid-range lines up with this. So the other chart was used when this wasn't more as relevant to me, because but now that this has reclaimed, it's more relevant to me now because these range levels work better and give me a clearer entry. So if you want to know where I got these levels from or how I draw them, watch the previous streams. It's one of the more recent ones, and I've detailed that exactly. So I won't repeat that. Okay. So going back here now, this has got more context to it. So that area that I said for a pullback, not only is it mid range, it's also yearly open. Okay. So like I said before, remember here's the yearly open. It went up. We've done the trading below that. Now we're in the expansion phase. So imagine this yearly candle. Imagine it's a candle for a yearly chart. We've done this phase. Okay. If in a trend mode, then we should get expansion. And we're only just beginning. Um, that's irrelevant. Let's just focus on this, please. Let's just keep this. So here, uh, we're in this phase now. Okay. If we anticipate now, that does not mean it has to go up now. But if it's in the body phase, it means we're looking for trend mode. Okay. Or it looks good anyway, as long as it's below the yearly open, which is good for our alts and memes. Now going down, what am I looking for? So this is clears it up a bit. So what I look for in trigger plan down. So you can see previously many times it's gone up here. See that level there? Exact same level. And it comes back down to here. So there's nothing wrong with it coming down here. Okay. So scenario one, down. This is a deep pullback play. Now this may come down a bit deep. It doesn't matter. Like here, it wicks a couple of. I don't care how deep it goes. I'm not looking to knife catch. I'm looking for the market to breach it, then deviate back up. Once it deviates back up, then I enter. Okay, like this. Once it deviates back up. Once it deviates back up. So what I look for is if it does do this, however deep it goes, could come towards here as well. Wait, I'm gonna wait, and then I wait for it to reclaim, and that was a fake out then or deviation. Then I look for my trigger, invalidation, and then target 1, target 2, target 3. So target, target, target. You could go for this as well as target short term if you wish, but okay, sorry, this one here, that's up to you. But my main target will be here. This seems because this is the midpoint, okay, of this, and the midpoint is always the mean level. It always loves to gravitate back towards it, snapback. It's like a snapback play, isn't it? So this is the range. You get the mean. It always snaps back towards the mean, and then whether how if it gets to the range high or not, that's a different question. Or falls short, but the mean is the highly probable objective to reach for. So basic mathematics. Okay, so that's scenario one. Now, what if that mean level in a trending market means okay? So because in trending markets, what we get is see this is a range bound market. But trending markets are different. Trending markets are like this ranges and it breaks out and it doesn't quite give you the pullback you want. Often does this and then rallies. Does this, then rallies. Do you get that? That's where I use the mean level to hinge a trade off to identify where are we likely or probable to find that area. And then I look at that and I see, okay, has it proven to me in the past? So if it has proven to me in the past, that means it's an SR level. Does that make sense? So having said that, my scenario 2 is if it doesn't come all the way back down, okay, then look, close enough. I'm not going to argue there. It's like an inflection point more or less, isn't it? You can see. So what I'll be then looking for is, okay, what does it look like when it goes back above here, pulls back towards here? Well, we can see as an example. I'll wait. Let me just zoom in now. Is everybody with me so far? Am I making sense to what I've said? If I make sense, I don't know. So now we can zoom in. Okay, we're gonna zoom in now. It doesn't always usually just pull back there. It's I'm prepared for where it does pull back, and over time. So if your strategy it does do that, that's fine. I'm not looking at specific fib levels. I'm just basing it on fixed ranges the market is proving itself that it's moving within. Okay, so we've got this there. So that was the low SR level just above here. So I'll include that as well. See, that's a resistance. So the shallow pullback towards the mid range, which is the mean. Okay, there. Is that you, Charlie? Nadim. There. Reclaim. Trigger. Exact same thing. So all my triggers are exact same thing. Okay. And then target. Okay, if I'm short-term trading, maybe these lows, okay, but come down, and that would be the trend continuation. Remember what I said? It goes up, doesn't quite come all the way back down. Well, I've got to be prepared for something like this to happen and not revisit the perfect area I want. I have to be prepared for it. So yeah, people say you have about 3 plans. Yes, I have about 4 plans, 5 plans, and then I'll wait. It's like I systematize it. Okay, it's like becomes a bit mechanical. I'll say, okay, XYZ happens, then there's my trigger. Okay. If this happens, then my trigger. It's like a if then process. Okay. I don't think, well, I do think, but I let the market or the strategy do the thinking for me to remove my emotion side. As much as I don't want a retest of this myself. Okay. Because I know what will happen when this sneezes down towards here. Okay. I'll get obliterated. But I have to also be ready. I can either cry like a bitch about it or say, you know what? Be prepared for it. Okay? And that's it. So there, so if it does this, if it deviates back above, retesting this, then I step in, and that's my trigger. Oh, too much blue. That's my trigger. I'll be cutting a clean break wherever the low is. Okay, short-term target there, but ultimately back towards there. And that will prove that these ranges are holding. Okay? If it doesn't, and if it blasts off from here, because usually what happens is if market's about to make a high for hello Majid, 10 years. Fucking hell, time flies. Yeah, I've been doing videos for like 13, 14 years. People don't realize that. People think I'm just doing it for 1 or 2 years. It's mainly FX though. Go back to my channel, you'll see videos dating 13, 14 years. So it shows how long I've been trading. But it's mainly FX. Crypto I joined, I think 2017-ish, like end of 2017. But yeah. Now the breakout play. So scenario 3. If those two don't give me, okay, and these are more towards plays I play once my swing trade is folding. So the swing trade was from that 75 to 80k area, which I pointed out at the time. I actually marked it out live in real time. Now this is just adding either compounding or just playing it. While the swing plays, I play level to level like this. At least I'm banking something along the way. Not that I'm not banking on the swing trade, but you know what I mean. Scenario 3 is the breakout play, and the breakout play is like this. Assume this consolidation, breakout. Now I'm going to prove this by not just me saying, "Oh, that's a breakout retest." Historical price action. So whenever I see a setup, it always gives you confidence. You say, "Okay, has this happened before?" Even if it's just a fractal. Well, if it has and it lines up with the idea, it's a further factor of confluence. So there's my trigger, uh, and then towards there, and then I'll deal with whatever happens after that. I will deal with because those same range levels, the macro ones, which I'm using, suggest these are the next objectives. So this was the first one. Uh, yeah. So just copy. It's just fixed ranges. It's fixed ranges. Okay. Fixed ranges. Okay. That's it. These ranges I had drawn out when we were down here. Okay. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear? Now going back towards the short-term play for the breakout, where sometimes when the market's about to like at least give you a correction, there's that one fast blast off move. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gotta be prepared for it. So just like here, see this here, the setup I mentioned here. Let's go back historically. What does that look like? And I'll be looking for that, and that's it. That's all I do. Okay, but the thing is when to use it with confidence, when to step back. That's what makes a strategy. Trading can be simple. You can learn a strategy. Anybody can learn a strategy. A monkey can be taught. However, applying it is different. When you apply it and when you don't apply it, and even then, when you do apply it, what sort of risk? Okay, you take because each trade doesn't. I personally don't fixed risk on each trade. I know people talk about fair risk 1%, 2%. Okay, if that works for you, that's fine, and that works as well for some people. You gotta adapt. Everybody's different. That doesn't mean they're wrong or I'm wrong or whoever else is wrong. It just means in this kind of environment, my system, I can apply my system in a way where it's it's peak potential, peak performance. So I'm up my risk. But in another context, the same system is profitable, but not as much. So I reduce my risk, and that you'll only know yourself because I see the market my way. Even though if you use the same tools, you'll see it your way. You apply the same tool. Okay, it's like school, right? You'll get one, say in a maths class, you'll get the same teacher. He'll teach you the same thing, but not everybody's gonna succeed. Some gonna get A stars, A's. Some gonna get B's. Some gonna get C's. It's the same teacher, though, isn't it? It's how you apply it. So The system is a small part, in my opinion. Yes, it has to be good. The hardest part is the discipline and keeping that emotion intact. Um, I think it's the trader, it's the individual that makes the trading. Okay, it's how you apply it. So people say, "Well, this system's not working." No, I don't believe in that shit. Okay, so maybe some rare one-off, stuff, but in general, it's down to you. Some people make money from the most simplest TA. Okay, however, yes, because I put the video up yesterday, so it doesn't matter. I can change the name. And the YouTube doesn't update the name, the title for some reason. So I was supposed to do this yesterday, and all I did was change the time. Okay, so here, so there, see that there, retest there, it comes down and then pushes up. So just an example of what I was getting at. Now go forward now. That's just one example I was using. I'm going to be looking for the same thing. So if it goes back above, I then want to look for that. But I will cut it. If it starts breaking down back below here, I'm going to look to cut. I'm going to get out. Okay? And then I'll wait to see if it gives me this. Or if I have more price action to work with, maybe something else. I can only go with what I can see right now. Does that make sense for Bitcoin? As for longer term projections, if we do break out, because Bitcoin being Bitcoin, and we can get some crazy move coming. Ideally, would be like this. This is what I would love, ideally, and then the big move. But I do think towards there at some point this year. But yeah, is everybody clear with Bitcoin before I move forward? I think we should be. Took a bit of time on that, but as you can see, why? Because you can then, you know what to do for the rest of the alts or whatever you guys do. Make sense? Okay. Let's move forward now to FBTC. FBTC is important now. Okay. So if this is the bottom in, even for a relief bounce, then that would mean 1 second. Give me a second. That would be a relief, okay? At least for some alts, at least towards here, I think. And then if we get above here, that's gonna be the critical point. Okay. So once we get above here, then we can deal with it. Okay. So maybe there, maybe pull back. But so far, it's looking good. Now, what I like about this is the fact that FUSD's lined up. I don't know. I don't look at BTC dominance or USDT thing, so I'm not sure. That's not. I've never really looked at that. What I look at is this. Okay. So yeah. So this is a good area, but it's not just FBTC on its own. It's the overall. Like, so obviously Sol's been looking good, but FUSD's looking really good. Okay. So as long as this looks up and pushing up, I would prefer FUSD longs over Bitcoin longs. I'm talking about while this lasts. Obviously, if it's going down, Bitcoin longs in a bullish context. Okay. So what do I do next? Is the question. So moving forward. Okay. 1 second. All right, let me see what my shitters is doing. Sorry, one of my shitters started to move. Oh. Which one I got alert for? Oh yeah, look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, let's carry on. Let's see. I'm doing this. I'm doing my gold play. I'm still in. I'm still in. I think it could go higher. Maybe next stream I'll cover some gold. It's just a weekend. I don't know, but I mean this is the gold call I did. If you recall. Here. We did in the stream as well. Not stream. I posted on Twitter. I was in the stream there. So I longed it. Or was it here? Well, I think I would be long personally from here. But what a move. Okay, let's carry on now. Now the important thing with this is FBTC. It's not just FBTC on its own. It's where are you? Here, bouncing. It's not just FBTC on its own. It's FUSD. The lining up with it. See that there? Perfect SR retest. Previous that all-time high there. Okay, retest, rally, DBA, consolidates, rally, and here. So as long as this was holding, okay, yes, it can deviate a little bit. It's good, and we've got that. So having said that, okay, I'm very bullish. I've always been bullish long term, but it's just timing it. Okay, it's just the ticker. Forget the name of the ticker. You feel better if it makes you feel better. So what I'm looking for now is what I said previous stream. When do I get really confident? Is this now? This is the time. So what we're looking for, let's say this deviation. And if I drag this to the left, pay attention. Forget other coins. Pay attention to this now, because this is going to dictate your other bugs. Okay, well F1s mainly. See this there? It's a key level. Okay, it does deviate. If it was a 5-minute chart, you wouldn't be worried too much. But this is a critical level now of support. And once it gets back above here, real trend start. Once you go back above, trend starts. We're back above it now. The whole market is looking decent overall. Now the question is timing now. How do we get in? Okay, I posted about this and I said I'm main target there, and I'll leave a portion on in case it does blast off, which is all in the past stream. Look at the past streams there. So you don't make money on this. What do I do now? Let's discuss that. So go to the lower time frame now. So here was if you recall from the streams, okay, we were here, and I said the breakout either gives me the pullback, which I did there small, or the breakout, okay, and small term target 1, target 2. Now we're above here, so I'm gonna use the other chart just to make things cleaner. It's very messy. Let's just draw this area region up now, okay. Let's draw this here. And you want to pay attention to this. There. So ideally, we want a pullback play, or he's going to give us a breakout play. Which one does he give us? I don't know. But we're about to break things down and identify. So what I want to also do is I'm going to mark out like a deviation area. What do I mean by that? Well, pay attention. So we got this here. Now watch this. How high does it go before it pulls back on the initial breakout is what I look for. So for example, here as well. So when we were down here and we were like, it was coming down, this was the region that it popped to. Then once it deviated, confirmed the low, and at least for a bounce. It deviated again, then found support there for a bounce. So this region here, I'm going to call it the deviation area. Let me move this to the left as well so it's clearer. And this is how it's just something I personally use that filters out or a strategy for increasing odds or confluence for a trade idea for me. So one can say, well, I'm going to blindly long the retest here. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. Okay, if it fits you. So what I do is I reduce my risk, or I see, okay, what's high confidence. So I have different categories of trades. Say 1 is lowest, 5 is highest. 1 can be still profitable, but 5 is the high profitable. So if it's number 4 or 5, I allocate more risk. If the setup is like 3, then I still have a risk, but smaller, because long term it works. Okay, and sometimes we get setups that are only in number 3 category for a long period of time. So does that mean I don't trade? Yes, you can do that and just wait for those, or you can trade and knowing full well that okay, I can adjust my risk then. Okay, it's all about risk and knowing how much to risk at a certain point of time. Okay, so 2 scenarios. One is the pullback. Now I know that this capped it before. So once it's here, it deviated before and got back below. But once you made another attempt, it went back up. So what we're looking for is scenario 1, the pullback play. Assuming this is going to hold, okay. So that's scenario 1. So let's start the if-then process. So the if-then process is, okay, what's my first area of looking for a possible long idea? Well, one is the deep pullback. Now this will line up if Bitcoin pulls back. Remember the Bitcoin pullback scenario? So it comes in towards here. And it consolidates a little. There's a low there, swing low there. Hang on, let me go to the lower time frame. You'll see it clearer. I don't know. Don't listen. You're asking me questions where it's neither here or there. Let's just focus on this. All I know is what I'm talking about in this right now. Forget everything else. And even for meme targets, you don't know how far memes can go. Memes can go. Nobody can put a price target. I mean, I think everybody here knows right now. Some memes like I don't know, memes that you never expect to go to 3-4 billion go to 3-4 billion that you never thought would even go to 10 million. Okay, I mean for Bird I thought that was like from 500k I thought about 30-40 million, went to 180 million in less than 48 hours. You know what I mean? You can't. You just the way I would time it is when Soul and BTC top out, then I think in general that's when the top is in for alts and memes. That's how we'll time it. Does that make sense? As long as Soul is looking good, as long as BTC looking good, then I have no reason to close it. Does that make sense? That's just something I use personally. Okay. So let's carry on now. So go to the lower time frame. I've identified why I'm using these regions. The scenario one is we got this. And if we come in towards here, if watch Bitcoin as well. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Sorry. There we go. That's better. Here, previous highs. Okay. I'm going to mark this out as well so we know that there's lows there. So scenario one is the pullback play. Comes towards you. I'll wait. Okay. And then if it reclaims, that says to me, okay, market's consolidated, is ranged accumulation, whatever you want to call it, is broken out, then that would increase my odds. That may mean I may get a higher price, but when I'm leverage trading, I don't care. I just want to get in when the odds are high. I've got defined risk. I got defined risk now. What if it does one of these ones? You know what I mean? It could easily do one of those ones. Okay, there, and now play back towards here. Maybe mark out maybe here short term as some sort of lows, and then there. Does that make sense? So that's me tackling this. Now, does that mean I have to exit it there completely? I can leave a portion in, just like when we longed from here and there. I've got a portion in still. Okay. Then is the breakout play. What if it does not give me the pullback? I'm going to be prepared for that. Funnily enough, Bitcoin and Ethereum both at the same time are at resistance zones. So then, where am I targeting next? I'll be targeting here, this region, okay, and then here. So we can realize when market trends, okay, that's why I keep repeating it. Like here, perfect example, consolidation. You would have wanted the perfect pullback. Did it give it to you? No. So it came down to a key level, ranged, broke out, trigger, and continued. That's exactly what I'm explaining right now. Later on, you may, but you miss out on this. Make sense? So what I'm looking for then, if it doesn't give me scenario one identified, then I look for scenario two. Now, where do I enter scenario two? Previous SR regions. So then I will look for, okay, breakout, resistance, support, ignoring the wick, breakout, trigger. I will cut in a clean break wherever the swing low is because I know what I'm getting out. Target one, and then maybe target two. Let's call that those highs. Target one, target two, and target three. Does that make sense? And my trigger is here. So this is the breakout play. Now, with the breakout play, if it does trigger and then start to break down below this low, I will get out. That's wrong. I'll wait for this play if it gives it to me. Does that make sense? Well, I manage the risk to reward by exactly how I've just said it. Where is my trigger? Where's my invalidation? Invalidation. That's it. Exactly what I've just said. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear? Now, if I also throw in this, using this leg to here, this is a good area as an objective 50% area. Okay. So I'd keep it first target there, stops at break even, and that's it. And the same method I can apply if it breaks above here. So here, if it breaks above and holds, exact same strategy. SR flips becomes resistance becomes support. Congestion area. Okay, if it flips, isn't this exactly the same as Bitcoin like I showed? Remember the Bitcoin scenario? There's that floor, Bitcoin structure, right? There's my objective. Exact same price action. Well, nearly exact. Target, target. So even if I miss this, I can now use this as a compounding opportunity, or how to get in, get out, get in, get out. It's up to you. So what I tend to do is I'll hold a swing and I'll just play level to level. I do trim across, and then obviously as I add back in, if it gives me another trigger and another trigger, I'll trail my stops. But before you know it, that strategy you works in a trend mode. Whereas chat mode, it'll round trip me back down, so I can't use this strategy in a range bound environment. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear with that? Okay, that's more or less it for F. Nothing more to say. Okay, for Soul, well, the slow Soul trigger I gave a while back down here, if you recall, and it's done nicely so far. Okay, you know, I don't really have a short term. Soul's been quite like stronger with his moves. I don't really have a clear trigger plan for Soul. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm just holding my position now. What I would say is we've got this region here. I'm gonna run through the rest because for me the most important plays setups was Bitcoin and Ethereum because with the way I trade it, when I've got those triggers, everything else gives me a trigger as well in general. Okay, so one is okay. Scenario one is if it pulls back as a SR resistance, 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 let it reclaim, and I'll get jump in and play towards there, and then so on and so forth. Okay, if it doesn't give me that, I may include it. I'm gonna do another one soon, a stream. I'm just gonna have to wait for the breakout play. It's not very clear. Like FNBTC short term setup wise is cleaner to me, price action wise. So what I then tend to do is I say, okay, well, if it really is such a hardcore Sol Maxi, you can say, well, if BTC and ETH give me the trigger, and this is some sort of trigger that's not as clear, well, by default you have a trigger on this, don't you? Because usually they all go together, up together, don't they? So there, there, there. I'll wait. Do what it's gonna do. I don't know how it's gonna look, but breakout and then trigger. So play that's the breakout play, and that's it. Clear? Okay. Run through the rest now. So BNB looking good on the weekly. Okay. So what I've done is fixed ranges. I'm gonna do high time frame stuff on this because the next stream I'm gonna do the detailed alts. Okay, because it's a Friday. I'd rather do it once the new weekly starts. Okay. Um, it's breaking out. So there, and all I've done is this. That's all I've done. Fixed ranges. Fixed ranges. Okay, that's what I've done. So for now, I'm long from here, and this is a smaller time frame. I posted it on Twitter that I'm long. It's hit target one, my stops are break even. Then there's target two. Now, if assuming this was a 5 minute chart, okay, this is where I will look to compound on a big breakout play. Okay, because assume this is this. I'm just consolidation. When you zoom out, that's a consolidation as well, isn't it? Right? So when it breaks out, I'm gonna be prepared because I want to play. I want to capture that move. So later on, when that happens, or if that happens, I'll be using the same strategy. Close above, invalidation back below here, this level, risk reward solid. Now, knowing how alts run, crypto runs, I mean, I can only go with what tools I have to give me target objectives, but we'll see. I'll mark a halfway point of this as well. Okay, these are fixed range objectives. Okay, using previous ranges. That's all I've done is I've used a previous range. Okay, and it's moving in that direction, in those ranges, and that's it. Okay, that's that done. One thing, how do I see? No, Foxy. Um, Vanry looking good. Basic play again. Everything's looking bullish. So see, when you know the detail about BTC and F, everything else makes sense then, doesn't it? You don't need to do individual alts, but let's do it anyway. There, it's breaking out. Did the retest. Our key support. Next objective there, as it's proven itself previously. If it breaks above there, then there, then there. Okay, that's it. So it's at range lows. It's actually breaking out. So if I want further confirmation, I'm just going over a few that people have mentioned, and I'll be consistent in the ones I mentioned. There, it's breaking out now. So is ETH looking good? Yeah, they're all breaking out. So if you assume the key level ETH reclaimed, well, this is the same thing then, isn't it? So that okay, maybe short term, playing short term, and then there, and then obviously, as I mentioned above. Okay, so let's continue now. Desync. Okay, I mentioned it because we went over it previously. Now that is starting to now move. Remember previously we went over this. I just ranged for ages. I can't do much of his ranging. Okay, been in this for ages. Now it's breaking out. Okay, it's breaking out now. So again, they all look the same. They all look the same. That's the thing. Once you know what BTC and ETH is doing, you don't really need to even look at the chart. I bet you 9 times out of 10 you'll know exactly. I'm gonna trigger on those, and then just you pick which ones you like. Then I mean, not everybody's gonna be in like 50,000. You know, there, there. I like to go with the majors like BNB and Sol because those are the major ones, aren't they? But yeah, there, and then obviously, okay, because that's the range. All I'm doing is picking out levels within the range, and then above that, it's there, and then who knows after that? Okay, so that's that done. Zig again. This is what you want to keep an eye on. The reason why is that I mean it's fundamentally solid, but just from the chart perspective, what we got is this, and then that. See that SR flip, and then you see this support. This has held up. While most coins are trading like this around here, this has held up. That's what makes it unique to me. Like okay, It also massive consolidation since what 22 actually over a year worth of consolidation, and now it's broken out. So that will tell me that the longer the consolidation, especially coupled with the fact that we stayed here while 99% of alts, even ETH, came down a lot lower, are trading around this range lows. For me personally, just from a relative strength point of view, that's a very positive thing in my opinion. Now we've broken out, and I think they've got partnerships with like this. How many billions was it? Some property company. It's a RW and AI. Do your research yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna look. I just look at others that do the FA. But yeah, it's broken out, and I assume I'll 0.25 next. Now this is based on a range projection, by the way. So similar ways that I've told you, so I won't repeat it. And then fixed range projections would then take it to 0.5 next, and then 0.8. These are just range projections I'm doing. Okay. So I'd assume when things blow off, okay, and then we'll see there. It's in 0.8 to 1 area, in my opinion, and then we'll see. But yeah, let's see. Invalidation below here. I've got a clear cut invalidation. I will cut in a clean break below here. So risk to reward wise, it's not bad, is it? I wish that perps. I don't. Does anybody know if they got? I don't think they got perps yet, at least, or do they? I'm gonna check. Actually, I just played spot here. I haven't really looked. These were last spot. But yeah, I'm wrong below here, and there's below this blue box, and risk to reward wise, it's not bad, is it? We'll see. So that's that. So I've covered most of that. A few memes. Frog looking good. Okay, we've spoken about this breaking out. So clean this chart up. Yeah, why do I do the same meme? Because this is the thing. I'm doing the same. I don't like to chop around between 50 different memes. These are the few memes I got conviction in. I've been holding them for a while, up or down. If I'm doing the same ones, it shows okay. I'm still holding them, then aren't I? I'm not going okay. I don't like this. I'm gonna move on to the next shiny thing. Now, the short-term plays, okay, but these are my core ones. And whether they work or not, well, that's my problem. Um, uh, I'm not saying you should, but there. So again, everything's breaking out. Yeah, you missed, so you can watch the recording. Um, so long term, okay. I mean, there's not much I can really say. Just go to the weekly. It's easier to do the weeklies if you got a longer term conviction in these plays. They all looking the same. You see, they all looking the same. So I would say, okay, it's breaking out. I mean, on the lower time frame, we saw the breakout. It doesn't show clearly here, and towards here, short term, here, and there, and then we'll see if it breaks out. Okay, next one. Well, obviously the king, but obviously now this is an impressive run. I gotta say. I mean, this was impressive. I've never even the other ones couldn't do this run because that 500k to two. Well, depending on which exchange, say 180 million in 2 days, less than 2 days. Hold on, move, and now it's come back. It's retested. See this retest. Funny how TA even works well. Perfect TA actually. Whoever's doing this TA is fucking is whoever's doing it. It's good. Ugh. So far it's breaking out, and if I look at it from this, I'm personally gonna hold it. Um, they all looking the same. All these soul memes are looking the same, aren't they? Okay. So let's see. As for longer term targets, I mean, if it does work, let's see. Let's see what it does. They all look at the same, really. Even Peanut, Chill Guy, they all look at the same charts, short term. So, wait to 1 billion. What do you mean 1 billion? At least 10 billion. What are you on about? I've already done so. People looking good here. Nobody. Well, I've still nothing before. So we'll see. Is there any Fartcoin? Now, there is. Fartcoin. I mean, I posted about this here. What a coin. It's very solid, isn't it? Yeah, still LP, putting LP in dynamic one. So I get fucked. I had a lot of LP in, but if you look on my, I mean, my Dux account is obvious. I put in like about 3,000-4,000 soul in with at the top. Um, so that's a lot of money. I do the maths on that, so I lose out. I did remove some when we were coming down just to support the chart, but slowly I'm adding back in. But yes, I think it's got enough for now anyway. Uh, but yeah, slowly I did make them fees. I'm doing it on the meteor and then I burn it. I mean, just a bit. I'm no expert at it. I still got to learn a lot to learn about it. But yeah, anyways, back to this Altcoin. And now it's gonna set up again. Well, let's see. I added there. We spoke about this one there and swing failure there. So next objectives, I think here. Falcon looks good. And after that, I don't know. After we'll see. I mean, we can only use it for range projection. If I'm going to use range projections, okay. If you're going to use range projections, I mean, let's start off like this. This is one method of doing it. The fib extensions. So you get the 1.272. I'll put it at about 3.4, 3.4-ish, I think, is a good area before a collection. But if it's gonna blow off, these the 1.127.2 extension. If you know about fib extensions, this is usually a good level. I expect some sort of retracement pullback, and then comes the 1.618 and then the 200% extension. But I think here and Soul, you gotta remember, it's not as if Soul is at cycle top either. Soul is just warming up if you think about it. Okay, Soul is just coming off. So at least till there. So the distance for that to there, if you're bullish still, if you got a thesis that's bullish, at least towards there, until there, I'm bullish on my like Altcoin, Bert, Fog, nobody, stuff like that. Does that make sense? And then you got the F. I mean, one pull up with F, right? Look what happened to Nero. Yeah, look at my big Nero bag. Look at Nero. Look what that did. Son of a bitch. See, this is the thing with memes. They rally up. Nobody's complaining, right? With memes, they go from like 16 million to like 1.3 billion. But then you start crying when he does this. I go, okay, well, it goes both ways, doesn't it? And look at that. Things change so quick. Things change so quick. Look at that one day and things change. I mean, this was one day, 100 million one day. I mean, I still think Bert was more impressive because technically Bert did get there to 180 million quicker. But yeah, we're gonna be impressed. I mean, look at that. So yeah. So the main thing is everybody clear with the plans? Does it make sense? Main thing is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then you get the Sol and BNB. But most importantly for me from this stream to take away is the BTC and F plans clear. That's the most important. Because from that, you get everything else, you see. Yes? Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, please. It's free. Shows support. Big thanks to Phemex for making this happen. Use the link in the description. It's free. Shows support as well. And I'm just waiting for the weekly close because heading into the weekend. I just want to take some time off the weekend. Always good to unwind a bit as well. Leave your core positions in. And once the new week starts, then I want to run through the alts, the next stream. Okay. I was going to do it yesterday, but now we're approaching end of the week and such a big move already. Approaching the weekend. Whereas better once the weekly closes, then we get a fresh weekly candle to work with. So I'll do it Monday or Tuesday, the next stream. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. I wish you all the best. Take care and bye-bye.